Hi guys, I'm back. So I'm sitting here and I'm surfing the World Wide Web, the great equalizer in our society today, the internet. The internet's an amazing tool, and it's a tool that for the longest time has really been unregulated, just as it should be. The internet should not be regulated because this is what happens. You see stories and you hear accounts all the time. Hear stories and see accounts about that all the time of some foreign country, middle of nowhere, some type of dictatorship government, some type of political tyrant, if you will, completely shuts down internet access to its citizens, to its people, cuts off all outside ties with the rest of the world. Because here's what happens. When there are social injustices in this world, when there's things that are morally wrong, we as a society of human beings, when we there's certain limits that most of us in our mind just kind of know what's wrong and what's right. When we see injustices like women and children being killed, if you're not strong enough to stop it, if you're not powerful enough to stop it, one of the best things in the world you can do is to raise awareness. And the internet, that's what the internet does. It allows the smallest of the small to have a voice. Sort of like guns. It allows the weak to have a voice. It allows the weak to have some type of defense. I did a video the other day about gun control and your Second Amendment rights. And you hear accounts now. This was in the news, and I read liberal media publications. I read conservative publications. I don't trust reporters. I don't trust major mainstream media because I know the people that own these companies and run these corporations. And I like to look at who's behind the scene, who's behind the front page editorial, who wrote it, who his boss is, who owns the company. Then you get a better idea of the, not really the point they're trying to get, but the point they're trying to stay away from. And this one caught me off guard today. This was a story talking about the United Nations. The UN held a conference in Dubai this week and has not, listen to this, I love this part, has not yet decided yet whether it will attempt to regulate the internet. So here we have the United Nations, who is and what is a few rich tycoons' dream of being a one world government organization. Here is the United Nations now, trying to basically get more and more power and more toward that one world government. And and here it is, the UN's talking about regulating the internet. Just the thought of regulating the internet is just, that allows, I don't want any regulation on the internet. Because, if you're worried about your kids seeing something on the internet, you as a parent, that's your job to regulate. That's your job to regulate. You can teach your kids, you can control what comes in and out of your house yourself. You can control what you search for. You can control what your kids search for. We don't need more regulation. Because once you get the foot in the door with the regulation, one part of it, eventually we'll wind up like some communist North Korea that completely, or China, for example. We'll wind up like China in some country out there where all information goes through a funnel. And it's dictated by the government what you will and will not be able to view or read or send pictures of. United Nations, and go back and look up history. A lot of you guys don't know jack shit about it. A lot of you guys know more than I do. A lot of you guys are everyday scholars and you read up on things. I don't trust the United Nations with shit. But yeah, the United Nations wants to regulate your interwebs. Think about that. Let me know what you think. Peace.